What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of KO Your Brand, the podcast for fame-ready entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Katrina Owens, top personal branding and public relations expert. And I'm here with a little quick hit episode of Pulling Punches because I have got an amazing multi-purpose hack for you if you're looking to start showing up on more platforms and, just taking the content you're already creating, splitting it into different pieces, using the help of AI to grow an omnipresence for your personal brand. So, this is something that I just started doing and it has been chef's kiss in helping me really create a multi-platform personal brand. And I just wanted to share it with you here because this is how it begins. And I'm a big fan of using AI to make you faster, smarter, more efficient. I'm obviously not a big fan of AI when it comes to using it to dictate like what you should sound like or, even the stories that you should tell. For me, AI is all about amplifying the expertise that you already have. So that's really what I use it for. And I'm sure, like a lot of you, I was pretty resistant to using ChatGPT as my what do they call it? Generative AI, my generative AI platform of choice. And I was pretty resistant to using it for a while because I always thought that if I'm going to use this, it is actually going to strip away all of the integrity when it comes to my brand voice, how I sound. It's going to make me sound like everybody else. And while that is certainly the case, if you're not using it correctly, for me, it's been a game changer because, and I talked about this in an article that I was just featured in on the website ZoomSphere. Shout out ZoomSphere for including me in your latest blog post all about brand voice development. But I had developed my voice long before I started using AI to create content for me. So, what do I mean by that? I mean, I have written my own Instagram captions, my own emails, my own blogs, LinkedIn. I had written my own content for a very, very long time before I started using AI. Started using it when I was like, okay, I think I need to get faster at doing some things. I started asking it different questions, helping me plan strategies and that sort of thing. And I was still really resistant to using it for my written content for a while. And then I just got to a point where I was like, hey, if everybody else is doing it, then why can't I? And so I started experimenting. And for me, experimenting meant taking content that I had already written, a strategy I had already written about myself, and training ChatGPT on knowing who I am instead of letting it tell me who I should be. And that's where we get it wrong. For so many of us, when we don't have a clear personal brand strategy, when we're disconnected from our purpose and our vision, we're like, okay, AI is going to tell me who I should be, when it really should be the opposite way around. You need to have brand clarity and feel so strong in your unique position and your differentiation to then share that with the tool and then allow it to amplify you and make you harder, faster, and better. But don't let it dictate like who you are. That's when you start to sound like everybody else. So for me, I had so much written content already that I had personally wrote that I was able to dump it into ChatGPT and say, this is an email. Here are some examples of some emails I've written in the past. Please write an email about this and use my voice and my tone. And, in the beginning, it took some training because ChatGPT doesn't necessarily nail it on the first try. You've got to train it. So anytime I would take content, and I still do this, anytime I take content from ChatGPT and I modify it, I share the final version and tell it, here's the final draft. Please use this as a reference for content moving forward. And that way it can actually start to become smarter and support you because it's learning about all of the changes that you make, and it starts to understand how you actually sound versus how it thinks you should sound. So I want to tell you the two different ways that I use ChatGPT and the AI I've basically trained on my personal brand to make content development so much easier. So, first, I'm going to tell you how I use it for this podcast. So, every time I record a podcast episode, I record in riverside.fm, and Riverside produces a transcript of the episode. So, everything that I say, even like, the little quirks or the slang terms or the things that I use, like those are all captured in the transcript, right? So when I go to make the show notes, the title, and the copy for the email that is sent out to my email list whenever there's a new episode drop, I use the transcript to educate ChatGPT on what the episode is about. So I literally say, here's the transcript for this week's episode. Based on what's included, please craft the SEO title, show notes, and the copy for the email for the episode drop. And it does a freaking beautiful job. I actually get a lot of compliments on my emails, which feels really great. And in the beginning, I used to kind of feel like a fraud that I was like, well, ChatGPT is like helping me write these. But I see emails written by ChatGPT that are so bad. And the fact that nobody can tell that it's not actually me writing them feels pretty good. Even this week, I had one person tell me on a Zoom call that she really loved them, and another one, recent connection that I've made, said that she like loves my emails and they really like stand out to her, which is super cool. So to me, that's me feeling like I use AI in the right way because I'm training the tool on how I talk, the way that I talk, even how I structure sentences, and it's using all of that to then formulate the copy so it sounds like me. So that's how I use it in one aspect. So transcripts are really, really great. I even use them like when I do client interviews. So I'll do a lot of one-on-one sessions where I develop a strategy after that initial session. There's a transcript that comes from that I use ChatGPT to help me formulate the strategy. So then it's also understanding like my client's voice and how my client talks and all of that. So that's one way. So then the other way, because I've just started doing this, because right now, up until like last week, I basically was like an Instagram girl, trying to be a LinkedIn girl, a little bit of a Threads girl, and then had my podcast/email list. Now I've started, because I have so many talking head videos and so much video content, I'm like, okay, we got to start to build some real estate over on TikTok and LinkedIn, which are not LinkedIn, TikTok and YouTube Shorts. So I've been doing this for about a week now, just kind of like every single day I upload a one of my talking head or previous videos from Instagram. I now put it on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. And I wasn't really sure like how, because I know that the captions on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, like you wouldn't phrase them the same way as you do on Instagram. So what I've started to do is I actually take the Instagram caption that I had initially wrote and I put it into ChatGPT and I say, please take this Instagram caption and turn it into a caption for TikTok and a caption for YouTube Shorts. And it's been crushing it when it comes to captions for those platforms. And that's what's been able to remove the block around me cross-posting my content onto these other platforms that I do want to be on. I mean, I'm on a weekend. The growth is slow, but it's been really interesting to see. And I'm sure that there are things that I can improve on when it comes to both platforms. But right now, I just don't want to get stuck. Right now, it's about consistently posting, measuring, seeing what's working and what's not working, and then revising from there. And then a side note, something that's been really cool is I love posting on Threads. I'm a writer. I feel like when it comes to communicating via the written word, I'm like very, very strong at that. So I love posting on Threads, but sometimes I just like, for me, it's such a intuitive platform where I'm like, I just don't have a Threads post in me today, or like I've written too many emails, or I talked so much, I have no desire to now write something else. But I noticed that when ChatGPT is repurposing my content into TikTok captions and YouTube short captions, the voice actually feels very similar to the kind of voice and structure I would use on Threads. So now I'm not only creating content for YouTube Shorts and TikTok, but I'm also taking a version of the caption and repurposing it into Threads content, which has actually allowed me to consistently post on Threads every single day too, which is pretty awesome given that like I used to be very sporadic. Like I might do 4 threads on a Sunday and then nothing for 2 weeks. But this structure has now allowed me to consistently post every single day. And the results have been really great. I'm getting great engagement on that platform. My Instagram account is actually really growing right now too, which is interesting to see. And because my talking head content that I originally post on Instagram, the captions are so strong, it's actually really easy to convey my expertise through the new captions that ChatGPT is developing for me based on that. Like I'm pretty impressed. So that's my hack for you all. I have just gotten very, very good and efficient at creating multi-platform content. And as a personal brand, like so much of my business depends on how much content I actually can create and like high quality content, by the way, content that sounds like me, content that shares my unique expertise. And honestly, at the end of the day, like AI isn't going away. So the more that you can get comfortable with using it and starting to incorporate it into your own business, like I always say, I have a ChatGPT is my marketing sidekick now. I brainstorm with it, I tell it my ideas. Yeah, it doesn't always get things right on the first try, but it's all about like continuing to use the tool, refine it, and making it work for you. So, with that, definitely let me know if you start using AI in your business in the way that I've described in this episode, because I would love to know if you found these tips helpful. If you love this podcast as much as I do, please rate and review this podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. Please follow me at Katrina Owens PR on Instagram, at KO Your Brand on Instagram. Obviously, I'm on LinkedIn, Katrina Owens. Threads, Katrina Owens PR, TikTok, Katrina Owens PR, YouTube Shorts, it's KO Your Brand. So I think I got everything. Definitely give me a follow. Let me know if you like this episode, and I will see you all next week.